Hi everyone, it's Anna back from Kitten Cat Shop with another doll video, and kind of wanted to discuss some of the history and background behind this doll. So what we've got here is a Momoko doll. Well, it's a Momotaro because he's a boy, from PetWORKS, and they make these dolls, Momokos. And Momoko has an interesting background. So these dolls were designed by Nami Manabe, and she's the art director of PetWORKS, which is a Japanese software company. I know, dolls from a software company? But yes, back in March of 2001, so she is celebrating her 25th birthday, Manabe was inspired to create a dress-up doll and named her Momoko, which means peach, hence the peach on her outfit and the peaches on their boxes. And the doll was meant to be a realistically proportioned 1/6 scale fashion doll, and it was made to represent a modern young woman in Japan. Momoko made her debut in August 2001 at the Doll Head exhibition in Tokyo of that year. The early dolls, DHEXS and DHEXI, were released in tiny batches, and they used bodies similar to Takara's Jenny dolls, and those are kind of a rubber doll. PetWORKS held the exclusive manufacturing of these dolls from 2001 to 2004. And then in 2005, they actually gave the Japanese toy manufacturer Sekiguchi production rights to make Momoko. Now, Sekiguchi, you may know as the maker of Monchichi, so they're a well-known toy maker. And in April of 2005, Sekiguchi upgraded Momoko to her own 27 centimeter tall body and has 14 points of articulation. And the body is very unique. This is her stand, which is an interesting clear round. Now this is a Sekiguchi stand, so that means that she came from that line of dolls, and I think she had a new body. So she has her head, her headband, and it can go forward, back, side to side, and turn. The Sekiguchi body has a shoulder that rotates 360 and up. It's got like a little interesting notch, and she has a forearm that can rotate around. Now I make note of this because her wrist only goes up or down, so if you want to kind of articulate the wrist, you need to move that forearm. But you know, she can do some pretty things. She's got some nice sculpted hands. The doll has a chest joint that can twist instead of a waist, and then we have the thigh joint, a knee joint that just goes backward and forward, can go 90 degrees. And take off her shoes here. Shoes are split in the back like a Barbie shoe, but to allow her to wear heels or flats, she has ankle articulation. So not as many articulation points as, say, a Made to Move Barbie, but pretty close to the articulated Barbie body as far as points of articulation. And I'm going to go ahead and show you these shoes because I'll show them to you later. But the key thing is these details on the dolls are incredible because they're meant to be realistic looking in proportions and things like that. And this one has kind of a side eye. You can see sometimes they have straight looking glance, different eye colors, different lip colors. Her lips have faded slightly, and she has been rebodied onto a newer 2005 body. So, and then today, from 2005 on, both PetWORKS and Sekiguchi both produce Momoko dolls. PetWORKS focuses on limited production lines, like their Close Clip Sheep series, and artist exclusive. And Sakaguchi makes the wider commercial Momoko line. And you'll kind of know from the boxes, because the boxes for the Sakaguchi line are a pink box with a window, and usually a peach design is prominent. The PetWORKS tend to sell the dolls in these little plain boxes and like a clear plastic. They tend to be a plainer package. Sakaguchi also introduced a teen version of Momoko in 2020, slightly smaller. Now, Momoko is a unique fashion doll in that she was never really intended to be a child's toy. So for Japan, they have Laika-chan or Laika, and that was their answer to Barbie back in the 60s, who's supposed to be an 11 or 13-year-old teen. Momoko, on the other hand, was meant to be a full-grown adult or young adult, and her fashions reflect that life. Wedding dresses, proper workwear, and stylish casual outfits. She was developed with the mature female in mind as the customer, who had an interest in fashion and styling. So typically there aren't very many fashions available for the doll outside of whatever outfit the doll comes in. But that's because there is a vast library. So because this product was developed for 26 and up grown woman, crafting and sewing and making your own fashions was kind of the focus of the doll. So Dolly Dolly books, which were kind of a magazine book. Some of the Hanan patterns. Here's another Dolly Dolly book. I always buy these whenever I can find them. Here's another Dolly Dolly book. And traditionally, what you'll see in these books is patterns, but they're meant for a range of dolls. So Momoko's, smaller MSD or YOSD BJDs, blights and pull-ups, and that kind of thing. Now, a couple of highlights from Momoko's history. April of 2002, she was actually part of a fashion exhibit at the Hara Museum of Contemporary Art, and the dolls have been at several art exhibits since over the years. May 2002, she actually appeared in a commercial for a Coca-Cola Japan drink called Fruit Labo. In October of 2008, she appeared in a music video for the song Dolls by a band called Scandal. So the line has expanded over the years. In addition to Momoko, there are boys. Their brand is now called PetWORKS Boys 8 and 9. 8 is the 28 centimeter doll with a more boyish, youthful look, while the 9 is a 29 centimeter doll and a more mature look. So 8, 9 from the 28 and 29. For the boys, the hands and feet are detachable. And typically, I believe the boys are called Momotaro, which meant peach boys. So, and there's also a smaller version, Ruruko and Ruruko Boy. These are often called Momoko's little sister, but it's a younger doll, and it features the A-Zone Pure Nemo extra small body, which means she can share fashions with all of the Pure Nemos from A-Zone. And while Momoko and Ruruko are very realistic dolls, PetWORKS does have some fun dolls. Usagi is a rabbit doll, Nikki a similar sized cat doll, and Odeko-chan is a little girl in the same 20 centimeter size with sleep eyes. Recently, PetWORKS reopened its international online store, meaning you can purchase these dolls direct from them again. PetWORKS Global, and that's where I ordered this doll. There is also another site I found that had a very good selection of the Sakaguchi Momokos, and that was mimiwoo.com, and I'll show that to you as well. Now, my history with Momoko kind of goes back to 2016. I found myself on medical leave from work, and while doom scrolling, as we do, I came across some amazing photography on Instagram. Realistic scenes and a fashion doll who looked like she'd stepped off the pages of a magazine. The credits said Momoko doll, and after falling down several rabbit holes, I determined I needed one of these dolls. The prices were a bit steep, considering the most expensive doll I'd purchased at that point was Monster High play sets for like $30, $35 each. But I love the look of the doll, and the idea of a doll meant for someone like me, an adult who likes to sew, and the sweet faces just haunted me. So I looked, and I finally found a local shop that was authorized to sell them. Fabric Friends and Dolls in Gaithersburg, Maryland, back when she was a brick and mortar. And she does still have some of these dolls available now that she's online only. But at that time, I realized Gaithersburg wasn't that far of a drive, so we made a weekend of it. And I had returned to work in the meantime and had a quarterly bonus check that was burning a hole in my pocket. So I got two that day. I got Merry-Go-Round. You can see her. She's got this cute little jacket. Again, we've got these cute little go-go boots with some amazing detail, the buckles. And the sole is textured. And she has blue eyes, a little bit of a side glance, and her lips have faded just a little bit over time. They used to be able to be a little bit more pink than peach. So, and her hair, the hair is actually Asahi. I think I pronounced that right. Kasei PVDC fiber. It's a type of sarin hair, which if you store these and they get exposed to high heat, anything over like 180 degrees Celsius or that, the hair can, for lack of a better word, rot on the older dolls. So we need to be careful how we store them. The other doll I got that day was a Wake Up Momoko. And Wake Up Momoko is kind of their baseline doll. They always come with like a romper. In this case, hers came with a little red and black plaid, a nightgown, or a set of PJs. They don't come with any shoes or a stand like these. But I thought it was a nice compliment. And I liked her brown eyes and her dark blonde hair. I'm going to bring her up closer so you can see her very sweet face. And my Instagram and Flickr accounts just got full. Dioramas. We made a Japanese maid cafe. That was one of the first dioramas Corey helped me make. And hence why she is in this outfit. Because I used the books I have and made her this little maid outfit to wear as the hostess in the maid cafe. And then later on, I got two more dolls. I got Fluffy for Snow. Now she has lost her little sheepskin vest, unfortunately. I do have some material. I might make her one as a replacement. Again, the detail on the outfits and that, the pin tucks and the lace details, even the little ribbons on the sleeves. Now I purchased her secondhand, and she was not kept in very good conditions. So her makeup is good, but her hair is kind of fragile. I want to see if I can put some of the Volks oil in the hair and see if it'll come back a little bit. And then I got this one, the DHEXS, and she came with a little dress. And then there was this special event apron or pinafore, and it has a little pocket, and in the pocket she had her own tiny little Momoko doll, and I thought that was really sweet. Her original outfit is just a little cotton dress with the peach, and then she's got a pair of bright colored shorts, and they had put a little saran wrap underneath to keep her shorts from staining the doll. So, but I've had these 4. I enjoyed them a lot. I played with them a lot. But 2016, when we were purchasing the original 2, was also when we saw Smart Dolls for the first time. And, well, we all kind of know about that saga. They kind of took over for a long time. And I still love my Smart Dolls. Corey still loves the Smart Dolls. We still do things with them. But recently, the doll room had become a bit overcrowded. And I was going through and reorganizing, choosing dolls to send on to owners who would appreciate them and love them as much. And I came across the Momokos on the shelf. And I decided to do a little bit of research. And that's when I found out that PetWORKS had opened up their global site to shipping. And that's where I got this one. He is a 9 boy, so that means he is the 29 centimeter boy, and he's the one that's a little bit more mature looking. And I got B2604, that's his number. Do not use blades to open. And he is a 9 basic doll. Now the basic boys do not come with anything other than themselves. So I like that they put the sticker in the right spot. Remember I said earlier that the boys in this series, their feet and hands do have a hinge, and they're a peg, so they can rotate as well as bend up or down. But they're made to come out so it's easier to dress the boys, especially if they have a close-fitting shirt or a jacket. Some of the other series, they have full suits, and it would be a bit cumbersome or difficult to dress them. So this is the back. Again, they put an additional sticker here for international markets. And he's just in kind of a bag. Bear with me here. Out here, and in here there's usually a sewing pattern, because remember, these dolls you're meant to actually craft for them. So we have a pair of shorts, and we have a simple long sleeve t-shirt. So I can get started right away, even if I didn't have any of the Dolly Dolly magazines or Dolly Dolly books. And on this side we have a little bit of information about the whole family. Again, he's a 9, so he is the tallest. We have Momoko. We have the 8, which is similar in height to Momoko. And then we have Ruiko. And then they're showing some of the additional dolls that are available. There's Usagi, Odeko-chan, and Nikki. They even have a mini Miami. It's a 10 centimeter doll, I think. And Josie. So very cute. A couple of options for him. And they're just kind of taped in another bag. No wires, no gibbers, nothing, you know, no plastic that I have to worry about. I like minimal packaging. And he does have rooted hair. I'm going to try to take this off without messing his hair up. He's got a couple of pieces on the side. I like his gentle painting. He has kind of hazel gray eyes. There's some nice molded ears there. And his head is a soft vinyl, like the girl dolls. His body is a harder plastic. And he can move his head down, up, tilt a little bit, not so much tilt, but he can move it up and down, side to side. He's got the same shoulder articulation. His forearm does rotate and bend. He's got the same chest articulation. We've got the hip and the knee, and his knee actually bends a little bit more than 90 degrees. And then he's got his hands and feet. And see if I can bring these close so you can see the detail. I like the neutral hands. They're still bent enough that he could probably hold some stuff in his hands if he wanted to slide it in that spot there. And they are on a peg, so they will rotate and move about. And then his feet, the hands, feet, and head are a softer vinyl, softer feel. And he's got the little peg there. So his feet, in comparison to Momoko's, he's got more detailing on his feet, and they're a little larger. Okay. And then in addition to the basic doll, I did get some additional items. I got several pairs of shoes. So for him, I got him these white and black boots, and they even painted the little rivets for the laces. Really nice detail. The laces are actually textured, not just like a bump on there, but they're actually textured. His boots, the soles are textured. So he's got some boots. For date night, I want to make him a camel color suit, so I got the brown dress-up shoes. They have a stitching detail, the laces are painted, and his leather soles. And then, since yukatas are very popular for these dolls, especially for festival times, I got him his own little pair of sandals. Oh, sorry, his own pair of sandals. And if you can see, they actually have the texture of the reed, the weave on the inside of the sandal. And then it's got a little brown sole. And they're made specifically to fit a foot that's made like his. And for the girls, since they have several pairs of boots and I have some heels that fit them, I decided to go ahead and grab these casual sneakers. The shoes, the uppers are matte, and then the laces have been painted, even though they're a similar color, so that there is a distinct difference. And look at the detail on those soles. So I was really happy. It showed up for the US. They only they only ship DHL. So I did have to pay some customs on them. And they got here 2 days faster than they said they would. So I was happy with the time. But I just kind of wanted to show you these dolls. We collect dolls, and then sometimes they kind of get pushed to the back of the shelf. Sometimes we don't know about dolls unless someone shows them to us. So I always think it's good to have exposure to new and different kinds of dolls, and just check them out. I know Mimi had some dolls on sale, $99 US, which, yeah, I know it's a bit pricey considering it's a fashion doll, but they are a really nice doll, and it's a really nice doll to have in the collection. I kind of consider these along the same as the Mizzy dolls. Those are actually a little bit more now. I think I got one for $85, and they just have a very cute look. I think the boys are styled and designed very compatible with the females in the line. So I think it'll be fun to do some more photography with these and pull out those dioramas in the 1/6 scale. So that's what we had. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a brief history and background of these, if you were unfamiliar with them, or if you were familiar and had collected but had stopped collecting, that they are available now. I am going to put these girls on the shelf, give him something to wear so he's not on the shelf naked, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I have some Leica chants that I have gotten recently, and I am working on the history and information for Leica before we unbox those dolls. So until next time, bye!